During the holiday season, many people will participate in food drives to help families in need. And as you consider donating items, the American Heart Association wants to encourage everyone to think about items that fulfill nutritional needs, as well as cultural preferences. Steve is in the ARC Lounge this morning with Elena O'Callahan, the Community Impact Manager of Nutrition with the American Heart Association. Good morning, you two. Good morning.
Yeah, certainly a timely topic, and I think this is top of mind, especially during the holiday season when so many organizations hold food drives. When somebody is looking to participate in a food drive, what are some of the things that they should consider?
Yeah, so for the more than 1 in 10 families in the state of Washington who don't have enough food to eat, one thing to think about is that these food drives bring in a lot of staples over the holiday season. Yeah. And the healthy food that many families are after, often the hardest to get. So it's important to think about donors being able to bring in lots of healthy choices for food pantries and increasing access to these foods for everyone.
And I know that when you're, maybe rummaging through your cupboards in the kitchen to figure out what to donate, or maybe you're going through the grocery store, sometimes it's hard to think about, what are some of those good healthy staples that people can donate to one of those food drives? And you've brought some really good examples here. Talk to us about, some of the healthy things that people should consider if they're going to donate to one of these drives.
Yeah, so you can take a look at some of these examples here, but off the top of my head, I'd say that, whole grains always make really good choices. So things like oats and whole grain tortillas, brown rice. You can also think about lower sodium or no salt added, no sugar added canned items. So things like fruits and vegetables, but also lean protein choices. So beans, poultry, fish. One thing that donors often forget is the need for spices, and that can help families to create really flavorful meals without all of the extra sodium.
And also items that are culturally relevant too. I mean, thinking about different things that different cultures might use in their cuisine, and that might be something good to donate too.
Yeah, absolutely. And food pantries are really listening to and taking in all of the needs of the clients they serve. So they're going to be the main resource when we're thinking about what do the clients and the customers served by the food pantry need.
Okay. If somebody's planning a food drive, talk about some of the steps that they should take, and maybe they've done it, they're doing it for the very first time, which can be quite overwhelming, I'm sure. But if somebody's trying to put together a food drive, what are some of the things that they should consider when they're trying to set that up?
Yeah, well, the American Heart Association, in collaboration with Delta Dental of Washington and Radiant, have put together a toolkit to help guide heart-healthy food drives. And it gives everything from a list of local food pantries to connect with, questions to ask the food pantry, ways to promote your food drive, and then also lists of healthier items like these, which we should, ask donors to bring. And you can find that at heart.org/Washington. That's the Heart Healthy Food Drive Toolkit.
And I'm assuming that as part of the organizing process, you should have a discussion with the recipient of that food during the drive. And when you're having that conversation with, that individual, that organization, the nonprofit, whatever it might be, what sort of things should you talk about in the organization process?
Yeah, it's important to understand both their capacity and the needs of their customers. So capacity, some food banks, for example, can accept perishable items, and that might expand the healthy options that donors can bring in. The other thing to think about is that they may only want certain types of highly requested items, or they may ask that you make a cash donation available. That's something that they can often stretch further, just due to their bulk buying purchase practices and or their supplier relationships.
Anything else that people should know about as they get ready to donate this season? What haven't I asked you?
I would say reaching out and talking to the food pantry is one of the most important things because, like I said, they are listening to the needs of their clients, and therefore they know exactly what foods they they need in the community. And so that's going to be a really, really big thing to touch base with the pantry.
Some important conversations to have ahead of time as we get ready to donate. Thank you very much. Some really good advice for us. And again, a really good toolkit to check out if you're planning to put a food drive together, Holly, or maybe donate to one. Lots of useful information out there.
Yeah, Steve, that is so great. We should mention too, we'll kick off, KOMO will kick off our Tackle Hunger KOMO food drive in January, with that big food drive culminating, in February. And so this is just such helpful information to get out to our community before all of that even happens.
Yes, a good opportunity to donate.
Absolutely. Great work. For more information on donating heart-healthy items, we made it so easy for you. Just scan the QR code on your screen, and that will take you directly to komonews.com/hotlinks. From there, you'll find a link to the American Heart Association's toolkit for a heart-healthy food drive.